Having made an explosive comeback to our TV screens in 2003, a ship that requires no introduction is in at number 5. So here we have a ship, one of the most famous ships of the 20th century. However, it doesn't seem to have been public enough in the UK, which is where I live, and so it didn't really... Well, I didn't really hear of it until the year the Reimagined series came out. And when I looked it up on Wikipedia, I found that it had come out in 1978 originally, so it isn't really much of a public thing in the UK. It's more of a US cultural thing. There's no real cultural audience in the UK. So, I prefer the looks of the 2003 Reimagined Galactica, but the not original series Galactica has all the... Well, let me rephrase. It's way more powerful than the original. No, Reimagined. My mistake. Sorry about that. The original is more powerful, way more powerful than the original. No, I'm sorry. I get that wrong all the time. Very sorry. The original is way more powerful than the Reimagined. Got that right that time. The Reimagined one has all the kinetic energy weapons, point defense. They can't really fight a Cylon base star, and the conventional nuclear warheads, they're not very powerful as well. And the original series, Galactica, has fusion warheads and 32 turbo lasers, not to be mistaken with the Star Wars turbo lasers. And so, basically, this Reimagined one has all the makings of a bad ship. Well, not bad. In fact, I really could care less about both of these ships, but they're on the list anyhow. I mean, top 5? That is something. Just look at... I've got loads of ships in my head, and well, number 5, that's pretty high compared to all the others. So... So, let's rate this ship. Armament. The original has 32 known turbo lasers and fusion missiles. The Reimagined one has as many as 514 kinetic energy based point defense weapons, basically railguns, and at least 12 silos for conventional nuclear missiles. So the armament is poor, but compared to the Stargate BC-304 and BC-303, the Prometheus and Daedalus, that's actually pretty powerful. I mean, the Prometheus has, the X-303 has just 4 missile silos and 8 or something like 16 railguns, and the Daedalus has 32 railguns and about 8, maybe even 60 missile silos, but later it gets Asgard plasma beam weapons, which can rip apart both hive ships with just 3 blasts. Like so. That is some power. powerful shizzle. So why didn't the colonials build a 304 with an Asgard plasma beam? Could take out those base stars in no time. But still, Galactica is pretty powerful. No, whichever way you put it. Overall, protection, sort of armor, sort of stuff. Well, speed. All I know is it's got FTL travel faster than light engines. No way to tell how far it makes the ship go, so I'm unable to rate the ship on that. However, strength and overall reliability, well, this ship, the original ship is 500 Yaren old, which is about a Yaren is about 2/3 of a year. So, I'm not really sure how long that is, but I've heard that an average human in the galactic universe lives 200 Yaren, which should probably be about 70 years, at least. So 270s and a bit more. You've got to admire that. It's something like maybe about 190 years. So that's an old ship, but not as old as some other ships I've heard of, which I will come to later. And the reimagined one is 60 Yaren. Not as old, but that's still quite a few years. So it's been in service for a while. And both ships take huge batterings, yet the crew can still get these things going. So this ship is very, very reliable. You've got to admire the Galactica, and that's why it's on my top 5. It's just so reliable, and you cannot ignore those lasers. That's a huge amount of armament. The Galactica, however, is down by the kind of weapons it uses. Primitive missiles, compared to other races and species. And so, it holds down at that hurdle, and the inability to rate its FTL travel speeds is also fails it, which is why it is at the meager number 5.